Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Barbara Steele, and I am acting mayor and therefore chair for this meeting. So we'll start with the delegations. And we have one, Elaine LaFontaine, Surrey Manufactured Homeowners Association. If you can come forward. Yes, please, to the mic.
Hello?
Okay. No. You have a cheering section. Go ahead.
Do we begin?
Yep.
Okay. I would like to thank the Surrey City Council for giving the Surrey Manufactured Homeowners Association the opportunity to be heard and recognized for speaking on behalf of several thousand homeowners in this municipality alone. How many manufactured homeowners are here with us today in the City Hall? Can you please stand up? Or wave.
Sorry, what would you like?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for your support.
Can we just, and no cheering or anything, otherwise we're not going to get through this. It's a 15-minute time limit, and that includes our questions. So,
okay.
Thank you.
I would like to introduce myself. I'm Elaine LaFontaine and Roz Bailey. And we are here to speak on behalf of the Surrey Manufactured Homeowners Association and the King George Park Homeowners Society as well. There are three main issues that the Surrey Manufactured Homeowners Association and the King George Park are pursuing. The allowable yearly rent increases are higher, the ease with which landowners can sell the land, and the issue of slum landlord behavior from park owners. These issues cut across both provincial and municipal laws. We are here today to look at what can be changed at the municipal level to better understand the dilemmas manufactured homeowners renting land in manufactured parks face. The Surrey Manufactured Homeowners Association recently hosted a community discussion on the topic of the future of manufactured home parks in Surrey. The community room was overfilled, and political leaders, federal and municipal candidates, president of the Fraser Valley Real Estate Board, a bank mortgage broker, the president of the Manufactured Home Housing Association of BC, and a community safety officer, Costco, a seniors group, and the King George Park, were invited, and each spoke about this unique community from their respected fields. We are here today to continue that discussion. We turn to you in search of insight and even solutions to issues that continue to be of concern to this large community of Surrey. The Surrey Manufactured Homeowners Association. We request that the City of Surrey to commit to a process to review issues surrounding manufactured homes. Our request. We request that the Mayor and Council commit to a process in which a planning committee, along with the City of Surrey staff, will work with the Surrey Manufactured Homeowners Association executive members to research the issues of zoning, unsightly properties, and land redevelopment. That the Mayor and Council direct the City of Surrey staff to report in detail regarding their findings on these issues with recommendations for bylaw changes in order to support manufactured and mobile homeowners in Surrey who rent land. We request that the manufactured homeowners have the same rights as any other homeowner in Surrey. As you have may noticed in the Surrey Now on October 16th, just last week, they had a news article, and it's about the Surrey Group advocating for residents, advocating for more protection for residents in mobile home parks. Areas of concern: zoning, bylaws and fines for unsightly properties, a process for redevelopment of land, and change of land use. On the topic of zoning, we ask that the City of Surrey must ensure that zoning and actual use at each manufactured and mobile home park has been updated and is accurate. Certain zoning requires specific amenities. Are the amenities provided, or have the facilities been closed for lack of maintenance and become derelict? We ask that any request to change zoning and land use of manufactured home park will go through a thoughtful, rigorous, and inclusive process to ensure that all homeowners affected by the change have their rights upheld and have appropriate warning and compensation. Provincial law stipulates homeowners must give residents 1 year's notice of eviction plus a minimum of 1 year of pad rent. However, the municipality is able to increase the minimum pad paid out to a manufactured homeowner who is being forced to move. Roz?
In January 2006, the City of Coquitlam adopted a policy that provides manufactured homeowners with the opportunity for greater notification and assistance than is currently required under the Provincial Manufactured Park Home Tenancy Act. The current compensation of 12 months notification and 12 months pad rent is not sufficient. Local government can help by enacting bylaws to support citizens should they be displaced by redevelopment. Coquitlam's Relocation Assistance Program acknowledges that manufactured homeowners are diverse and that compensation must be flexible and multidimensional. The components of that city's program include unconditional compensatory payments of a value that would provide some amount of equity and greater freedom to make plans for relocation.
Under unsightly premises, never again should we allow what happened to the Belladine happen again. Due to zoning and bylaw issues, this park became so derelict that it put homeowners' lives at risk. A newspaper in the Metro states, and I've got the article here, that was published on October 18th, 2013, and the placard behind the fellow there, it says, 10 units, no power since September 13th. And the title was, Surrey Trailer Parks Debacles Prompt Politicians to Call for Tenancy Law Review. And I think I remember Villeneuve being quoted on that, thank you. The province newspaper, June 18th, 2013, publishes Teen Writes to Mayor Pleading for Help. Drug dealers and sex workers have turned the family's pleasant trailer park home into a nightmare. And I do remember that Mayor Diane Watts came to the park and did follow up with letters to Rich Coleman. Thank you. And on the CBC radio and television, there was on October 16, 2013, about the Surrey Park residents for a push for stricter laws. Tenants say prostitution, drug dealing, and decay are destroying their community. The connection between high crime level and how well an area is maintained has been proven time and time again. How can the city's bylaw deal with unsightly properties but also not be an extra burden to homeowners as fines are simply added to the cost of pad rentals? Property owners, managers are known to just pay the fines and do nothing. A process for redevelopment. Homeowners on rented land, that is us. Manufactured home ownership provides an affordable home opportunity with lots of positive benefits. Homeowners are concerned about home values plummeting when park infrastructures are neglected, and about the ease with which the city can allow redevelopment of land by the owner. Landowners are business people who want to make a profit on their investment, but how do we ensure that all individuals and families in Surrey have the right to enjoy the same standard of life and control over their investment? Homeowners need to know. In a case of redevelopment of an existing manufactured home park, the current processes are not sufficient to ensure that homeowners can respond to any rezoning issues. Why should a new homeowner choose the affordable option of owning a manufactured home if they have no security in knowing that they can live in it for as long as they need or want to? What are the city's long-range plans and future vision of these areas? Does the correct zoning give manufactured homeowners who are also tenants the rights they are entitled to? If I am forced to move my home, does the city have bylaws in place to ensure that I will get fair market value for homes or enough compensation in order to move my home? Okay, a lifestyle community. This is, the manufactured parks are being advertised as affordable homes. Manufactured homes are an affordable home ownership option for low-income individuals and families. The City of Surrey has a responsibility to ensure that individuals and families who currently own and live in manufactured homes can feel safe and secure. They need to protect affordable housing stock. Many owners are seniors, people with disabilities, and are on limited, low, or fixed incomes. The statistics. There are approximately 1,525 manufactured homes in Surrey. That represents approximately 2,500 citizens. The range of pad rental rates in Surrey are from $450 to $950 per month, with an annual increase of 4 to 5%. It is affordable home ownership from $60,000 to about $150,000. Many people who have chosen to own a manufactured home do so due to retirement, downsizing, fixed or lower limited income. A report from Active is a manufactured homeowners association in Vancouver Island. They quoted from their website that they say that homeowners, about 1,850 BC seniors, have lost their homes in the last few years through park closures. The report said that some of them ended up in nursing homes because they lost their support system. In closing, we strongly urge the Mayor and Council to commit to a process in which their planning committee, along with the City of Surrey staff, will work with the Surrey Manufactured Homeowners Association executive members to research the issues of zoning, unsightly properties, and land redevelopment. That the Mayor and Council direct the City of Surrey staff to report in detail regarding their findings on these issues, along with recommendation for bylaw changes in order to support manufactured and mobile homeowners renting land in Surrey. Thank you very much for hearing and considering our request.
Thank you very much, and we do have a few questions. Madam Mayor?
Thank you. And thank you very much for your presentation. And you know, I mean, over the years, I know that this has been a challenging issue for many all around, and your points are very well taken. I do want to ask a question, because I know our staff was working on a number of these issues, and maybe we can just get a status report as to where we're at with all of that.
Mr. Planner.
Madam Mayor, we've started an inventory of what other municipalities are doing, so that we have a bit of a report card on what is being done by others.
Okay, because I know we did look at the Coquitlam bylaw, and I know that we had some discussion around that. So right now, so what you're saying to me right now is that we're doing an inventory of what we have. So we're looking at the, what I'm hearing is the 1,529 manufactured homes. Or are we looking at the actual pieces of property?
Madam Mayor, currently in our department we haven't looked specifically at the properties. We're looking more at the policy level right now. So what we've looked at is, as I mentioned, what's being done by other municipalities. Surrey already has some rules and regulation around redevelopment of mobile home parks, so we're looking as well at that aspect to see how this could be better. At the same time, we've met with some of our peers as well as some people in industry to find out a little bit more about their practices and rules and regulations. So we're compiling a lot of information that will help us to bring forward a comprehensive set of recommendations.
Okay, and I know that the provincial government, they've got some rules and regulations in there. Can you remind me as to their role?
As the delegation has mentioned, they do have rules around if you have to leave the property, the 1-year notification and the 1-year compensation for the rent rates. At the same time, they do have the tenancy branch that looks after the regulations around landlord and lessee. We do have some sets of that. If you recall, we've passed some improvement to the bylaws with regard to heat, power, and water. So that's within the jurisdiction of the city. But the provincial government has some regulation as well through the tenancy branch.
Okay, so through the, Madam Chair, through the tenancy branch, have we engaged, I know we've had conversations with them, but I mean, are they willing to work with us and look at how we can make some changes? Because I know that over the years, and I mean, this goes back, quite some time, a number of the ones on King George where, I mean, there was power that was out, there's things that, and I guess the owners, they feel if they just let it run down, then everybody will move out and then they can do whatever they want with it. So I know that our role going in there, there's things that we can do, and then we're governed under the tenancy branch. I think there was some issues with that, but I think that to your point, I think that it's really important to get everybody around the table and to have those discussions in terms of how the living conditions are and who's going to take jurisdiction over what. Because I would agree with you. Like I said, I mean, over the years, some of the owners are great, and they've got great communities and everything else. I mean, my aunt lives in a manufactured home, so I mean, and she loves it. She's 88, and her community, she loves it. And then there's other ones that all they want to do is buy the land and kick everybody out, and the conditions are horrendous. So I think there's room there for all of us to get around the table and get this thing figured out once and for all. So I thank you for being persevering with us, and I know it's been a difficult issue all the way around, but thank you again.
Okay. Thank you. Councillor Villeneuve.
I just want to also thank you for taking time to meet with most of us individually and to bring your issues to our concern. And I think the direct dialogue with staff is going to be important because you actually have the experience. And I will say we did strengthen our standards and maintenance bylaw. We put it, that was the first time we had it in effect was a couple of years ago, because people that were living actually in apartments were concerned about landlords letting those facilities rot, more to say, and the Residential Tenancy Act not being an instrument that actually enforced their rulings. So that's something we continue to lobby, that they should have a review of the Residential Tenancy Act. So I think your delegation coming forward is very timely, because we just passed our homelessness and housing strategy for the next 5 to 10 years. And one of our major goals is to try and protect our rental stock and our affordable housing stock. So any way we can support doing that. And I know a number of seniors in parks are feeling quite stressed about this issue. So any kind of comfort level we can give for people to know that we will consult before there's advanced planning in an area for new development, and that we will ensure residents have the best opportunity to relocate if necessary. And if you can provide some examples of how residents, for example, under the Coquitlam bylaw, how they were compensated in contrast to what our bylaw says, I think direct analysis is always very helpful in the conversations. So those are some suggestions that I would give you. And I think that just reporting what unsightly premises are, that's important for our bylaw department too, because we do have strength in that area, and they have a definition, and they can go in and insist that the owner clear up that premise or be fined a substantial fine. So I would encourage homeowners to do that. But thank you very much for your time and for the effort that you've put into this issue. It's timely now as we move down the road in Surrey.
Thank you. Councillor Hettner.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for your presentation. I know we met independently and spoke at it at length, but I think one of the anomalies here that we really need to advocate for is that manufactured homeowners pay taxes. And the fact that you're paying taxes is quite different than going through a tenancy branch without any of those same kind of protections of homeowners. So I think that having the executive members sit directly with staff and collaborate on what we should be advocating for and what a better policy may look like is is something that we can commit to supporting, because we recognize that that's an affordable housing issue, and that people who are in tenuous housing circumstances always feel vulnerable. So we want to make sure whatever those mechanisms are that we put in place are being advantageous to those who are the most vulnerable, for particularly in these circumstances. Around unsightly premises, we recently adopted a stronger bylaw for unsightly premises, whereby if you are identified as a problem property, that you can get fined every single time there's a call made regarding that property, and it stays in perpetuity on the roll for 2 years. So it's not for a short period of time. You'll get a $1,000 fine every single time a call is made to that property, and that is not removed until you've had 2 years free from those calls. So we have strengthened that bylaw, especially to those properties that we know are real problem properties. So I think that what you're asking for is very doable, and I'm not sure that we need to do anything more than say we support you in your ask right now. I don't know why we would need to really go back to a staff report on whether or not we support you. I think everybody around the table would agree that we're prepared to have those discussions and to have you work with our staff on what a model might look like.
Thank you. And I don't think we need to go back for a staff report either. I support everything that's been said here, and I see heads nodding. So thank you very much for presenting to us, and we look forward to working with you a lot in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a motion to adjourn? Thank you.